Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz Cini, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Forgiveness. It's one of the things that so many people debate about, whether you're looking online, in person, or just the perspective everybody has about it. This week in the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, we're going to be talking about forgiveness, why I believe it's important, and one of the first massive things you need to do as you awaken, how it literally sets you free, and why it's so important for you, your soul, and not the other party. There are many different takes on it, and if you go back and look at some of the episodes, we've already talked about it somewhat in when I refer to the little soul in the sun and how that is all about forgiveness. But forgiveness is literally one of the hardest things that people struggle with. And even I put up a question today on socials on what does forgiveness mean to you? And there's comments like, there's no easy answer. It's really hard. It depends on what you're looking at. I look at it just from a soul perspective and just from the humanness as well. Forgiveness sets you free. It's not about the other person at all. You don't have to go up to them and say to their face that you forgive them. You need to forgive them from your heart, from your pain, and from the burden of the weight that you carry. Because quite frankly, if you go talk to the person about what they so-called did to you or what you believe happened or your version of events of how they committed something towards you, they're going to deny it anyway. It comes down to personal responsibility. When you do the wrong thing, the right thing to do is to then go and ask somebody for forgiveness. If you make a mistake, you say something wrong and you cause pain to somebody else, ask for that forgiveness, because then they have the opportunity to give it or not, and many people don't even know how to give it when asked for it. But it's up to you to decide what it means for you. It is not about selflessly letting the other person off the hook, or saying that the event didn't happen, or taking no responsibility for it, or just being woo-woo and ineffective about it. It's about acceptance that that event happened. You know what? It's in the past. You can't change it. No matter what you try and do, you can't go back and make them act differently. You can't go back and be different in the moment. You can't go back and not be in that position, and you can't go back and avoid it whatsoever. It happened. It made you who you are. So holding on to it like a mantle, like a brotherhood or a prize is really the wrong energy for it. Okay, yes, bad things happen to us everywhere, but those bad things still teach us something. And so long as you learn something along the way, that is all that matters. Letting it go is not easy, but it actually can be if you just find acceptance, understanding, learn the lesson, and set yourself free. Because it's ultimately about you, not them. When you don't forgive, holding on to that memory, it's exhausting. It creates somatic problems within the body. The body gets worn down. You become heavy, you become angry, you become intolerant, you become reactive, and you're full of triggers. So the moment somebody does anything similar to you, you're reacting the exact same way the first time that it happened. And that's just literally telling the universe that you didn't understand the lesson. And you know what happens when you don't understand that lesson? You go into what I call the rinse and repeat cycle. So the universe goes, well, you didn't get it because you didn't learn what you needed to learn, and therefore I need to show it to you again so that your soul can understand it. And ultimately, part of that lesson is the forgiveness aspect. Because most people never want to believe this, but it is a soul truth that I fully accept and embrace, and I teach everyone that comes into coaching with me through understanding, compassion, empathetic healing. Everything that happened to you, your soul chose to experience because it wanted to feel it. It wanted to know what that felt like, of how to come through it, how to overcome it, how to grow from it, how to be on the receiving end of it. Because at some time in your life, past, present, or future, you have done the same thing to somebody else. It's a harsh reality to accept, and many people don't want to. But when you do, it changes everything around you. And I know it certainly changed everything for me. I held on to so much damage and trauma in my childhood that I bottled it down so far and so deep that my body had no way to express it. I ended up with a hiccup spasm in my body for 10 months, 24 hours a day. Repressed emotion does that. Unforgiveness does that. But healing sets you free. The moment I realized those problems that I was complaining about and holding on to, and the memories that I wouldn't face or wouldn't accept or believe that poor me, this happened to me and I lived in my victimhood, was the moment that I changed the shift of perspective of it. I realized that even though that did happen to me, it didn't kill me. And yes, the old-fashioned saying, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. None of us want to hear it or believe it, but it is an actual fact, truth for you. It does make you stronger. It gives you new methods of dealing with things. It gives you new lessons in life. It changes and alters the way you are. And the good part is you then get to choose how you act afterwards. Now, many people that go through abuse of sorts or have bad things happen to them don't really learn from it. They just are doomed to repeat it. The greatest lesson in life is not to repeat what happened to you, not to go and pass it on and carry on the trauma and build it down the line. That is how we end up with generational trauma. The greatest thing that you can do for yourself and your family line is to get over it, forgive it, and understand that that pathway was the journey your soul chose to take through life to become who you are. And who you are is wonderful. That is the most important factor of the whole thing. That's what life's all about. So if you've ever at any stage said, I will never forgive someone, this episode is definitely for you, because it doesn't hurt the other person, because quite frankly, they don't even know, and usually they don't care, especially depending on the type of person that did it and the role that they're playing in your life. And literally, life is just a movie reel, right? There are different characters in it, different roles to play, different people to be in order for you to grow and learn. And that is the way your soul chose to learn it this time. Are there other ways that you can learn? Of course there are. We have many lifetimes and many different things that we want to learn and grow through. But if you think about it and you think about anything in life, there are certain ways that you do learn things, and there are different aspects that give you greater growth. That's the cycle of life. Okay, some people learn through gentle encouragement. Other people learn by the whip and the chain sort of thing. It's individual. It's up to you how you choose to move forward with everything that we do. But when we hold on to those memories and we hold on to blame and shame and guilt and anger, that's like just getting a huge backpack or even a skip bin, right? You know, the big garbage cans, popping it on your shoulders or on your back and walking around life with this burden. It serves no purpose, but it weighs you down, brings you down, and makes you full of negativity. Forgiveness is light. It is lightness. It is freedom. It is upliftment. When you no longer carry those negative burdens and you set yourself free from what happened, you begin to have this creative energy, this imagination, this beautiful intuition that then creates magic in your world. If you hold shame from things that happen to you, that burden, we don't even have the problem with somebody else. The forgiveness aspect may not be to a third party. 85% of the forgiveness we need to do is to ourselves. For not fighting back, for not standing up to it, for not saying no sooner, for not walking away, for staying, for putting ourselves in vulnerable situations, for not knowing any different. But how can you know different until you know that you know? You don't know what you don't know until you do know it. And this was the way that you learnt it. So when you cut the cords energetically and you do the inner work and find that inner peace and let that person go out of your life, you heal, surrender, and you find this enigmatic peace within your body. And that starts the healing version within the physical being, let alone the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. These factors matter because if you actually don't let go of these burdens and negative emotion does continue to weigh you down for long, long periods, depending on the type of emotion that you're holding on to or the unforgiveness that you won't allow yourself to set free by giving or receiving, these things create dis-ease within the body, which then turns to illness. Things like cancer, autoimmune, and other illnesses within the body. Every physical ache, pain, or problem in your body, in your organs, in your bones, in your muscles, all have emotional connotations to them. And if you clear the emotions, the pain, the discomfort, and the problems can and will go away. But it does take deep inner work. Forgiveness is all about energy maintenance. Carrying those burdens, weighing yourself down with things that happen that are already over, creates a vibrational frequency that is low on the frequency scale. Depression, anxiety, despair, anger, grief, guilt, shame, hopelessness, helplessness, all of these things are very low frequency. And when you sit in low frequency for long, long periods of time, more shit happens to you. You sit there and go, I want out of this world. I want out of these problems. I want to change. But your frequency is only magnetizing the same things over and over again. As I mentioned, if you don't learn the lesson the first time and let it go and discover how it had a gain, and there is always a gain through your pain, we don't ever like to admit it, but it literally is the only way humans learn is through pain. We don't actually grow very well through ease and comfort. Go look at all the people that have it easy. They will find a way to sabotage themselves because they can't trust it. But if you come back from something that's burdensome and rebuild it for yourself, the sky's the limit. It's amazing at what you can do when you set yourself free and allow yourself to float up through the ethers of emotion, of energy, of vibration, that magnetic feeling of joy and happiness and acceptance and acknowledgement and gratitude and forgiveness. These emotives and feelings are just phenomenal. Okay, every time you replay a moment that hurts you, you relive that pain. It's like scratching an itch or scratching an open wound, and every time you replay it, you open the wound wider. What happens? It spreads, it gets infested, it runs into the bloodstream. That is where the disease is created. And forgiveness comes literally when we decide that we choose peace instead. It's a choice, and you can make it. Nobody else can do it for you. You cannot just magically wave a wand and say, you go and forgive them and you do it for me and you make it better, or let them come and ask you for forgiveness, because 90% of the people that you want forgiveness from or that you want to forgive, they don't even recognize they did something wrong in the first place. So why are you holding on to something in their mind that's a non-event? It does not mean you're saying whatever happened was okay. It's just you're choosing to accept it and stop the pain associated with it. Most people don't forget when they forgive, and quite frankly, you're never meant to forget because you did gain something from it. Because if you forget the lesson and you forget the learning that you had from it, you are then once again doomed to repeat. You do not want to recycle yourself back into the same lesson to go and find out what you gain from it. Sometimes you do have to go and have people that come and do the same or similar things for you, but that's just the version of you taking the test to level up. It's the universe testing you to make sure you got it right the first time. And trust me, if you didn't get it right the first time and you don't learn it hard once, the second time around is 10 times worse. So this forgiveness energy is actually energy alchemy. It is raising you up through the vibrational frequency, setting yourself free, making you light, making you attractive, and bringing better. Troublesome thoughts, bottled down emotions, unprocessed and unhealed instances or memories in our mind, in our subconscious mind, create burdens and disease. You want to work through them, uncover them, and discover those lessons and empower yourself with them for your own ease and grace. The one thing that you have to do when you are doing this work, literally, is you have to feel it, because you can't heal without it. That means going back into it. Sometimes we do that through timeline therapy, to go and look at it and view it overward so you can feel the emotions and allow the tears, do the screaming, let the energy out. Sometimes you'll do it just through journaling or having a remembrance of it, if you have the capacity to remember the incidents as well. And you need to feel the pain, the fear, the anger, the hurt, the problem that happened to you, because that's how you can then release it to set it free. But it first has to start with forgiveness, because until you release or reframe that story, it will just continue to haunt you. And the worst part, if you don't rewrite it in the best way possible, your soul, your memory, your fears, the little demons inside of you, is going to rewrite it 10 times worse to make it even more enhanced than it was the first time. Forgiveness is the equivalent to an emotional detox. Just find the energy in your body, locate it. It will be located in a sore spot. Right now, just close your eyes, tune into your body and ask yourself, do you have a pain? Do you have a discomfort? Do you have something niggling you that doesn't feel right? Locate it. When you locate it, just ask yourself and trust your unconscious mind and your intuition, or the first thought that comes to your head, and say, what is the emotion behind this discomfort? And a word or a feeling or a thought or a memory or something will come to your mind. And when you do, acknowledge it. Talk about it. What is it? What does it mean? What is the emotion word? What is the feeling that it's evoking? What is the memory that's coming forth? And ask yourself, do you still want to carry this burden, or are you ready to let it go? And if you're ready to let it go, there are simple, very basic methods that you can do to release it. First, you must feel it and acknowledge it. Okay? Feel the discomfort. Enhance it. Make it, activate it, make it 10 times stronger. Feel it, let it go, feel it, embrace it, acknowledge it, and then thank it. Now, from that point of discomfort, I want you to just to imagine a little silver ball of light, a little spark of energy. And this ball of light is going to gather all the collective components of that emotion, that memory, that problem, that incidents in your life that's causing you this physical pain. And it's going to spin, much like a ball of wool with strings coming off it and multiple strands, or those energy balls, you know, those glass energy balls that you touch and they have all the energy beacons from it. That ball of light is going to gather all the strings, all the memories, all the incidences, and wrap it round and round and round and round and round and round and round, over and over again, until it becomes complete. And it's going to suck out all the pain, all the trauma, all the memory, all of the hurt associated with it. And when that spinning ball is complete and there are no more strands coming off it, I want you to rise it up from that pain in the body, up over the shoulders, past the throat, over the third eye, and pop it out your crown chakra. And there's this big bubble of silver bright energy sitting above your head. Then put a pink bubble of love around it and float it off to the universe and watch it float away to the sky. And then just wave your hands, cutting all your energy cords between you and that energy. And then I want you to bring your hands back down, place them over your heart center. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in. That's right. And I want you to fill this space with love, with joy, acceptance, and forgiveness. And forgive yourself. Remind yourself how proud you are and how honored you are that you are ready to release this emotion and set yourself free. How important and valued you are that you are grown up enough to do this, that you are willing and able to choose you and your freedom and your ability to rise over everything else and fill this space with love and joy and forgiveness of self. And when you do it, it really changes you. You feel this whole recalibration in your body. Slots, like Tetris, like blocks sliding down in different positions. Holes that were there filling up with love, filling up with different pieces of sand, filling up with different essences of vibration and frequency. And you deserve that, right? You are so much better than what happened to you, and you are worth all the healing in the world. Forgiving yourself is even harder than forgiving others because we take on so much blame and shame, and they are two of the very lowest of emotions. They're the heaviest, and there's brokenness in there, but you're not broken. All of these things just made you into who you are today. And yes, taking out a piece or shedding a skin or removing a layer just buffs up and shines up the essences of you that are left behind. It's like cleansing your soul, setting yourself free, and giving you permission to heal. It's one of the big things that you do have to give yourself permission to let it go, to release yourself, and to let that burden belong to them, whoever did it to you. Let them hold on to it if they don't want to do their own inner work. Let them carry that weight. Because trust me, somewhere down the line as they awaken, and everybody awakens at some time, that burden they carry for doing whatever they've done to you will also create shame, blame, and victimhood. That's part of the karma. But you don't want to let your guilt keep you unhealed and create disease in your body, because these create things like self-punishment and unworthiness and feeling that unlovable, this disconnection from people around you of not being enough, all because of the stories that you've written on your soul and in your unconscious and subconscious minds. The greatest part about it is anytime you want to, you get to rewrite the story. You can change the narrative on what happened to you because it's always about the lesson from it. Stop being a victim, become the survivor, become the person that became who you are today, because that's exactly what it did, because you can't get here any other way. These vibrational frequencies will set you free. They will give you the power to manifest, to create, to be flying high, to rise above everything else. It's just this energetic spring cleaning that imbues you. You can imbue yourself with like glitter and sprinkle powder and wishes and magic and whatever it may be as you cleanse out the heaviness. Replace all the dark with the light and let it glow. This is the deeper inner work that you need to do. Over my time during coaching and doing readings for people over the last 35 years, as I've helped them uncover the secrets that they've hidden in my own journey of my healing, trust me, I never got hardly any of this right. Even coming to write my book, the last 9 years, I had to go do heaps of forgiveness work on that stuff. Because for the first part of it, when it all happened, I was in that victim mode of blaming everybody else. I didn't accept my own responsibility. It was totally coming to terms with that. My soul created that because I was doing the wrong thing and I wasn't in the place where I was meant to be, and it was trying to divert me and I wasn't listening, and understanding that created the freedom and the growth that I experienced. Because you can't grow when you're burdened. It's like sinking. It's like carrying a massive boulder and trying to swim to the surface. All it's going to do is help you drown. And quite frankly, forgiveness is never for anybody else, it's for yourself. Because it's all about you that matters. Each person, each individual has to do the work for themselves. It doesn't heal anybody else. It doesn't let go of the guilt for anybody else. It only works on self. Self-forgiveness is usually the hardest because shame and blame are hidden underneath the skin. They're not external things that are showing up for us. They're about the dark thoughts, the shadow aspects of self, the guilt that we feel, the shame or the punishment, the self-deriving energy where we beat ourselves down of we deserved it, we did the wrong thing, we must be a bad person, only bad things like this happen to bad people. We must be evil, we ask for it, all of those bullshit stories. Especially if part of the burden that you've had to carry comes from a narcissist. Because they're going to have convinced you and gaslighted you to the point that you do take blame for everything, that they didn't do anything wrong. Now, forgiveness with a narcissist could be a whole nother episode, because if you're expecting them to come out with forgiveness, you might as well wake up in a new century, because it will never happen. They never perceive themselves as doing anything wrong. Problem is, in essence, they actually didn't. They were there to teach you. That was their only role, to show you the way, to light the pathway for you to grow through your evolution, for you to rise up, to become who you are. Those past choices, those past aspects of self, that journey is not about all of who you are. You also have to remember that no matter what you went through, you did the best you could at the time with the knowledge that you had. These lessons that you learned mean that now, if the same thing was ever to happen to you, you have better resources, you're able to stand up for yourself more, you'll definitely be able to say no or walk away from situations like that, and you can protect yourself. The only time you can't do that is if you didn't get the lessons in the first place. Then the universe will literally bring it back around again, smack you upside the head with a shovel, and make it 10 times worse than the first time. This is why I want you to make sure that you do the healing work, that you forgive yourself and let go of guilt. Let go of blame. Let go of responsibility of actions of others, and only take responsibility of your own personal actions, because that's what matters. All of these things are all about resilience and allowance and allowing us to rise up. Acceptance that they happen. They're part of our journey. They're not all of our journey. They're just aspects of self that made us who we are today. And it's coming to terms with loving, forgiving, and accepting and embracing, finding gratitude, love, and joy with ourselves. That self-love, that filling that cup, that pulling us up to who we're meant to be. Forgiveness just makes it easy for you to find love in self again, to accept the parts of you that were beaten or broken down because of that. Because trust me, even if it happened last week, you're not the same person today you were on the day that it happened. There has been growth. You just have to analyze it and look at it and use that as your story moving forward. There are some simple steps that you can take in order to work through the forgiveness process. Step number 1 is about awareness. Okay, finding out, where are you still triggered? What responses do you have to the problems? What is the unforgiveness you're holding on to? What is the blame or the shame or the guilt that is carried with you? What is the emotional reaction that is triggered within you when somebody does something like what happened to you before? These are clues to give you insights into the layers that you need to peel back. Now, usually when we have faced a problem, and I've faced different types of abuse throughout my life, and bullying and unwantedness and lack of love and scarcity and all these problems, there are multi-layers of emotions that we must heal. So you do have to do it through awareness and one at a time. You can't just go, I'm going to clear all the layers of this one incident in one hit. It doesn't actually work that way. You need to clear the multi-layers over the same incidents, one bit at a time, through acknowledgement and awareness first. Then there's expression of it, feeling of it, speaking of it, writing it down, getting it out loud. doing the processes, right? This is where you need to write a letter to the person that did problems to you. Not to send it. Please don't ever send it. That's just creating a karmic loop that you don't want to have. Vengeance and sending hate to somebody else is never a good place, but getting it out of your system, writing it down and burning it to release the energy out of the frequency from you is a beautiful healing modality. Speaking the words out loud. For me, to get through all the problems that I had, either I had was triggered or I would not react to people that triggered me. And you know what it's like when someone says or does something to you and you freeze up and you can't say anything, and then 10 minutes later you're in your car and you can think of 1,500 comebacks. I was blocked from saying things, not realizing at the time that they were actually for my own good. Because when I said them out loud to the person, if ever I was in front of someone, and let me tell you, back in the day, if I wanted to cut you to shreds, you'd leave bleeding and shredded. It was disgusting. And I hated myself for it afterwards. But I still needed to express that. So I used to go sit in the car and look in the rear vision mirror and have a conversation with the visual aspect of the person that was there to get it off my chest. Not even realizing energetically what that was doing for me. Because the more I bottled it down and the more I dismissed it, the more it became that volcano that one day they come and triggered me again or gaslit me again or said the wrong thing, and then I'd lose my shit. And nobody wants to be around when I lose my shit, right? It was not a pleasant place. And this is where I learned that we had to do this, and how I learned that it somatically sat in the body. The aches and pains I've been through in my life, I wish I had known at 20 that's what caused them all. I went on mystery illness discoveries to doctors and specialists everywhere for diseases that nobody could ever define. And then when I was diagnosed with diseases, because at 23 I got diagnosed with rheumatism, I said to the doctor, no, I'm not having it. I don't want it. And I refuse to have it. And I refuse to accept I have it. And therefore I got rid of it because I wouldn't allow it to stay with me. These were aspects of growth that I got through the self-expression. The good part is I used to be able to say no very well. Back when I was 3, my aunt and uncle took us on a day cruise around the harbour. We went for train rides and on the ferry, and my aunt comes up to me at the end of the day and says to me, "Do you have a good day?" Hands on the hips, little 3-year-old. "No, I didn't." She's like, "What do you mean, no, you didn't?" I had the best fun, but I was a little brat back then. And I don't think the problem was having the good day. The whole problem was that she took me home and I never wanted to go there. So if I was naughty, then I couldn't get into trouble, if that made sense, because then they'd just sort of want to stay more. It was more about the fact that I was being taken back to a place that I didn't feel safe or happy. I didn't realize that till many years later either. So when we're looking at the expression of it, this is where I do EFT and tapping, saying the statements out loud, acknowledging the feelings, acknowledging the hurt, acknowledging the pain, being aware of it as we process it around the body. Just being present with the feelings of it. I was doing tapping with a beautiful client a couple of days ago, and I said, I'll just make this tapping script based on what she was telling me. And we're doing tapping, and I'm like, we sure do. Yeah, because she couldn't say the words because the pain was so deep. And then she did it at the end of it. She goes, "Oh my God, I feel so good." Like, what is with that? Because it's the acknowledgement of what you're going through that really shifts it out of the body. That's how easy it can be to set it free. Okay, the energy has to come out of your body. Stomp your feet, wave your hands, dance around, jump up and down, sing, scream, shout, breath work, whatever it may be, get it out of the body. It can't stay stagnant. The longer it stays in the body, the more it turns to disease. The next step that you want to look at, step number 3, is about compassion and saying to yourself, and repeat after me, right? Say this out loud. I did the best I could at the time with what I had. I had to go through this journey in this way to become who I am today. And who I am today, I love them. I wouldn't be the person I am right now without it. Have compassion. Love yourself. Accept what happened. Kindly, with empathy, with understanding. Most of the troubles that happen to us and the unforgiveness we have is from our childhood. We were children. We didn't know better. We didn't know how to stop certain things from happening to us. We didn't know how to stand up for ourselves. But by God, you learnt. And the learning is the power, right? It's up to you how you embrace that. That's the important factor of it. Step number 4 is always about reframing it. What is the lesson that this taught me? How did it shape me into now? So even though I was abused at home, even though I was told every day I was unwanted, okay, I know how valuable I am. I'm wanted. Just because those people didn't want me doesn't mean everybody doesn't want me. But I learned self-sufficiency and resilience and the power of who I am, and standing up for myself and fighting for myself, and knowing the importance of the soul and the journey and the incapacity that my mother had for loving because of her own self-love that was lacking or empty. And unfortunately for her, it still is today. She still carries burdens from her childhood because she won't release it and forgive herself, let alone anybody else. And then that set her up for failure. Learning, this is how I know what it's like when you don't do the forgiveness work, because I look at my mother and how she shows up today. And I look at other clients, I see it everywhere. Like, it's not just my parent, but it's the closest relationship that I have to me. And that's why I did all my work, right? To reframe it. I'm so grateful for everything that I ever been through, simply because I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have the capacity to understand, and I wouldn't be able to help as many people as I can today. And that's what matters to me the most, right? Using what I've been through to become who I choose to be. And fuck, I love who I am. I can't explain it in any other way. I love my work. I love doing this. I love sharing with others because I know it works through trial and error and pain and suffering and trauma. I've been diagnosed with CPTSD, and I should be apparently sucking my thumb in a corner, rocking back and forth after all my traumas, but I didn't want that life. I didn't want to lose out. I want to thrive, and that's the life that I build each and every day through choice. And you can too. That's my reframe. All of this has made me so strong now so that I can show up for you, because that fills my heart space. Now imagine if I didn't go through any of that and then I wasn't able to share these messages with people. I don't even know who I'd be. It improved my healing. It improved my compassion and my empathy, my understanding, my acceptance, and my non-judgment of people. Because you never know what anyone's been through until you put yourself in their shoes. And it's not about what they've been through. It's about helping them discover how they've become who they are and how that person matters the most right now. In step 5, this is where we need to do the releasing work. Things like the energy bubble that I showed you. Bubble the emotion out. Rise it up. Let it go. Let it go. Release it. Surrender it. And float it away. But always cut those cords, right? You don't want it to come back. And then fill the space. My other favorite practice, and you've probably heard me talk about it 100 times so far, is Ho'oponopono. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I'm sorry. Thank you. And I love you. A simple way my coach Arthur taught us to do it is, if you have a lot of people that you've got to forgive and it gets really hard, right? Just go imagine yourself sitting back in a theater, right? So you're in a theater where a stage play is, and up on the stage is a black curtain. And behind that black curtain, it's going to pull back, and all the people that have caused you harm or that you need to forgive are standing right in front of you. And you can see them, but they can't actually see you because the bright lights are shining towards them, making them blind to what's going on. But you now have the capacity to look at each and every single one of them and view them with peace. And then decide to gather all the cords, draw them all in from both sides, and sever them. 3 chops, sever all the cords. And then send that forgiveness. Please forgive me, I forgive you. Whichever statement makes sense to you, right? Because it does have to go both ways. I'm sorry, thank you, and I love you. And love is the essence of forgiveness, and loving them for the soul that they are, not necessarily the version that is showing up in the world right now, but the pure essence of their soul. And that process will set you free. And you just keep repeating those phrases over and over and over again until you feel peace and freedom and flow. You can do it for the group, it's easier, and that's the first layer. And then you'll find some chords are actually harder to cut through. And when you look at them individually, it's a bit deeper. There are more layers of more pain that need to be done, but you can do it. And you deserve to set yourself free. This is all about releasing you from being bound and tied and locked in and burdened from somebody else. This is all about setting you up for the success, the joy, the freedom, the peace, the love, the high vibration that you deserve. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's actually the ultimate act of strength. It takes the bigger person to forgive and let go. It's you choosing to say, I refuse to carry this another day. It's how you reclaim your energy, your peace, your power, your sovereignty, your uniqueness, your you. It's taking back your power, embodying every aspect of who you are, not just the pieces that are left behind. It's like magnetizing and picking up all the scraps to rebuild yourself and screwing bits and pieces back together. So if you're holding on to guilt, anger, or regret, let this be your permission slip to let it go. Because when you forgive, you don't just heal the past, you really, truly open the door to your future. And you deserve the best in the world because you're everything, right? You are a perfect specimen of humanity who's been through wars and troubles and trials and tribulations. And you know what? You come out of it the other side. You won. You are the victor. You are everything you ever need to be because you survived it and now it's time to thrive. If you're struggling with this in any way, shape, or form, please reach out to me. I will happily create you an EFT script, or you can come and join Shine with Shaz, where we walk you through the whole process of this to set yourself up for the bright and beautiful future that you have ahead. I have scheduled the next dates for Shine with Shaz. They are now starting the week of the 2nd of February 2026. So I have a waiting list if you want to come and join it, or if you're ready to do deep healing work and do it one-on-one and start thriving now. I do transformational coaching. This is my bliss. Helping you understand this, setting you free, doing the work, holding your hand, walking the journey with you. This is my love. This is why I had to go through all of this, to be there for you. So if this episode landed for you, please come and join me. Take a 30-minute chat, come and have a conversation. Any support that you need, I have loads of resources, happy to give you direction. Go check out the other podcast episodes or other videos that can help you through these. But please don't walk it alone. Never think that you are the only one out there going through this. There is multitudes and millions of you, but there is help if you only ask for it. But you can't do it if you don't want to show up for yourself. You are worth it. You are so worthy and loved in this world. And my wish and God's wish is for the healing to take place so you can rise up to shine to become who you're meant to be. Until next time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.